Now, stop me if you haven't ran into this before, because I'm sure you have. You see a home, it looks amazing. The outside, like you love the paint job, the pictures look immaculate, the lighting, everything. And then you get with your realtor, you go to the home excited, you open the door, and the smell hits. And you're like, and I'm not talking about like a smoker smell, it's something like you're just like, oh, well, that's unfortunate. Like, it smells like a lavender-scented litter box. And suddenly that 10 out of 10 home turns into a -4 out of 10. And so recently, the National Association of REALTORS in the last few months released a report talking about what are buyers looking for in a home and why are 58% of them, which is quite a lot, disappointed when they go home shopping. Well, it isn't just smells, though that is the biggest one, because look, if there's issues with like paint or maybe a poster or something, that can be easily fixed. Smells stick with you, but it isn't just that. There's this other category that the NAR pointed out that's called sneaky cover-ups. And we're going to cover what that means. So let's talk about this today, because as buyers, you need to know what to look for when it comes to homes that maybe look too good to be true. And sellers, take note of all of these, because I guarantee you don't want to make these mistakes. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, what is like a sneaky cover-up or slip up sort of thing? Now, let's talk about the big one, because if you live in Texas, or if you've ever just experienced even some of the summer in Texas, you know how important the HVAC is. And if you go into a home, I don't care how good the staging is, I don't care how like beautifully done the paint job is. If you go and you see like a thick layer of dust and dirt on the vents, that tells me as an agent, this person is not taking care of one of the most important things that everyone in this state values. That's a good running AC. Because the one thing everyone fears when you first move into a home is that it's going to break. And nobody wants to. And so sellers don't do things that's going to make people think the AC is going to break in the first 2 months of the buyer moving in. Because that's at minimum $12,000 to $15,000 to fix. Now, the second thing, less obvious one, because it sounds counterintuitive initially, that is smart home overload. Now, what this means is that having some smart devices is good, obviously. Uh, Having things that are connected well, like maybe a security system you might be leaving behind, or maybe you have like a really nice uh, lighting system that works well. Maybe you got a Google Nest for the thermostat and all that sort of thing. But if your home looks like something like futuristic and looks like something that would belong in a Star Trek movie, what a lot of buyers are now seeing is, one, oh my gosh, I'm going to need 15 manuals just to understand how to turn the lights on and off. And the other thing is, they're going, oh my gosh, this is going to be so expensive to fix when this tech eventually goes out of date. And those are two thoughts you don't want buyers to have. So, not saying smart devices are bad. Just, maybe don't get the smart fridge that connects to the internet if you're planning to leave it behind. If you're taking it with you, that's different. But otherwise, a lot of people really don't need their fridge or their toaster to connect to the internet. Now, the third thing is flooring. Sounds obvious, but the less obvious thing is if people see a bunch of different styles of flooring, like you kind of see like a faux wood, and you see some tile, then you see like different styles of tile. One that looks more like marble, like stone, and then carpet. And if it's just mixed and matched and it just looks scatterbrained, all buyers see is, oh my gosh, DIY projects that went wrong. So if you're a seller and your home has a bunch of different floorings, I would highly suggest either stick to one or two of them or replace the whole thing. And I know that is not cheap, but it is better than, especially if you have to move out of the home, you would much rather pay for that and the home sell quickly than to not do that. You wait 90 to 120 days before someone finally comes. And not only did you have to lower the price several times, well, you also then had to get concessions because, well, the buyer's going to have those floors replaced anyway. Just do yourself a favor. So yeah, these are the things to avoid. Now, let's talk about how even if you do run into some of these like little fixes or little things like this, what does this mean for buyers and for sellers? Now, when it comes to what do you do with this information, on the buyer side, we'll cover that first. Buyers, one, Austin has been declared a buyer's market. Inventory continues to climb. And I'll just be real with you. In the several years that I've been an agent now, uh, the amount of price decreases has been consistently ahead of the amount of new homes or even currently active homes. I think all except for like, and I kid you not, like 2 days. So homes are constantly having to decrease their prices in order to keep up with the market, and buyers can now be picky. You can negotiate and you can be, well, aggressive. And I can tell you all about that with clients I've had. Heck, even with a home I have gotten, you can be aggressive. And it also means if you do see a home that maybe does have some of those, like we'll say, not maybe not lazy, they might have ran out of money, but just fixes that kind of make you, or just like little things that stick out to you that make you go, before you stomp off, it could be a golden opportunity to maybe get you some additional discounts for closing costs, or maybe some negotiating power to lower the principal, or maybe you get the seller to cover the repair during the negotiations. Who knows? But that's what you get. Now, let's cover sellers. Sellers, what this means is you need to be realistic. Now, I understand, depending on the situation, you may only have so much money. You have to prioritize what is most important. That's the biggest reason I covered those three in the previous segments. But obviously, smart devices is one thing. But make sure your HVAC's in great shape. Make sure, because the big, I'll say four, that I've had so many inspectors tell me make or break a deal. It's HVAC, roof, foundation, water heater. Those four things is what will make or break a deal. You need to make sure those are at least in good shape. Now, you may only have so much funds to deal with one or two of them. Well, if that's the case, one, it is what it is. But two, you need to then price your home accordingly. Because if the less move-in ready your home looks, the longer your home is going to sit. Now, homes that are move-in ready and they look amazing, they go under contract in less than 10 days. I know because I have some buyers that by the time y'all probably see this video will have signed and now own the home. We went under contract and that house had barely gone up by the time we were submitting an offer. And it was move-in ready. It was immaculate. So I'm not saying it's got to be immaculate. It just means know what's going to happen. If you don't have the funds, then you need to strategize accordingly. If you do have the funds, I would highly suggest at least making the home look move-in ready. Because the more move-in ready, the faster it's going to move. Now, what does all this mean at the end of the day? What this means at the end of the day is buyers, you need to have an agent that's fighting for you. Same with you sellers. You need an agent that's going to be honest with you. It's going to help you negotiate and is going to fight for you. And that can only happen if you sign on an agent to represent you. Because my job, whenever, regardless if it's buyer or seller, is the fancy term is fiduciary. It means your needs go above mine. So that means if lowering the price makes the home sell, then that's what it is. Because obviously, from a selfish standpoint, I'd love for the price to be high because that means I get paid more. But if lowering it, which means I get paid less, means the house actually sells, that's the right thing to do. Same with buyers. My goal is to save you money. So that means you might qualify for $450,000. If you find the perfect home for $315,000, then $315,000 it is. And so you need to find a good agent that's willing to be honest with you and just willing and makes it very clear they have your best interest at heart. So I thank you all so much for listening to this. Obviously, I like to cover this sort of thing because people think home buying is impossible. I mean, you've seen the doom and gloom out there. So that's why my name is Caleb McLemore. I love to be the anti-doom agent because I'm tired of all the doom scrolling you see online. I'm guilty of it myself. So if you have any questions or anything else, I would love to hear from you. So please reach out. If you're looking to buy, I would love to be able to help you find a home because you might be surprised how the prices that are available out there and how low of an interest rate you can actually get thanks to concessions. If you're a seller, I'd love to explain to you how I can get your home sold very quickly, if we are smart and you're willing to price accordingly to your home. So, I thank y'all all so much, and I'll see you in the next one.